First and foremost, want to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah, double honors to the elders and apostles of James Gateman Stone, and salutation to all the Akims out there pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. This is the brother Dawbar from the Jamaica JMS camp, here to do a short video exposing our leaders again and declaring the word of the Most High. This is an article from the Gleaner saying that food imports bill to decline, says Wholeness. Right. So Prime Minister Andrew Holness says billions of investment in agriculture is expected to help cut down the country's massive food import bill. Right. So basically this man come out again with another false claim, saying that them basically are gonna bring up back the country's farming, right? And this spark from basically the fact that Jamaica has been facing a food shortage since the coronavirus thing, because other countries now release them resources in a times like this, but this don't make sense because Andrew has to follow a mandate, and according to the UN, right? So this is not a part of their plan. Basically, the elites plan to get rid of poor people, reducing, according to the Georgia Guidestone, reducing the world population from 7.9 billion now to 500 million, right? So basically, them goal with zero hunger, right? Well, them claim to say them are gonna try reduce world hunger through the development of certain things, right? But this go contrary to one of them goals, because one of them goals have to move people from outside of the urban area to from the rural area to the urban area, right? So you're not gonna have people in the countryside that farm, nothing like that, right? So this not gonna make no sense because everything going digital, you're not gonna have people in the countrysides anymore. So what Andrew say, it really make no sense because even him go towards a digital society, and this go contrary to the word of the Most High, right? Because right, I'm just get the scripture. Alright, this is Ezekiel 5:16. It says, when I shall send upon them the evil hours of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I shall send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. Right? So basically, whatever this man has say false, because in a prophetic, right? This don't go with what the Most High say. Andrew, I do all type of false claims, right? Because during the coronavirus spike, them did say them have 6 weeks of food remaining, and what them come out in an interview and say, yo, Jamaica not going into a famine because them have food, right? But that is against the scripture. So another false claims by our Prime Minister, which is why scripture say him or one of them will go dead by famine, right? Alright, this is Jeremiah 14:15. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord, concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not, yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in the land. By sword and famine shall these prophets be consumed. So, yeah, well, we understand the sword part because we people are going to revolt against them, because all type of false claims cause the people to go in a, turmoil state, right? And people highly dependent upon the government, right? So when shit hit the fan, who them a go for, right? So, okay, so say, the truth is, the Jamaica Labour Party government is in its first year created the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fishery. Why? Because we recognize that agriculture requires investment and technology to transform it. Andrew said during the final debate in the general election debates, which ended a short while ago, yeah, at the Creativity Product and Training Center in Kingston. When I listen to Peter Phillips speak, it is as if he just became to the stage. Dr. Phillips had been there for more than 2 decades, and so these problems has existed for a very long time. Only further stated that because in the time of Michael Manley, this is what the UN do, right? Them destroy Jamaica agriculture industry, right? Which is why them now go build it back. So this is not a part of this is not a part of their mandate. So all him attack, right? This now go happen, right? Sure. Holness said his administration had managed to reel in big investment from businessmen, mentioning an agriculture project now undergo in Innswood, St. Catherine, as an example. He said over 1,000 acres of land had been put into production. The JLP leader said small farmers are also being reeled in the modern way of agriculture. This man is something else. We'll replicate this 100 times over, but not just for the big investors. These projects also include small farmers working in conjunction with big capital to deliver significant output, Holiness said, arguing that the administrator had a track record of getting these things done. Yo, most I predict famine from this land. I predict famine and destruction for your people. So not care what kind of farming or whatever industry you want to develop, it now go work, right? Because whatever the sword not destroy, famine not gonna destroy, and the most I word now go back to him vain, right? So Isaiah 9:19, through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire, and no man shall spare his brother, and he shall snatch on his right hand, and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Right? And this is a prophecy yet to come, right? Because we see we're in as it develop because we know say in a time of trouble. Country no country don't release resources. And Jamaica highly dependent upon country. And we know so whatever plan Andrew I make now it not gonna make no sense. Right? Because eventually it all mess up. Right? Because this no commission by the UN nation. Andrew just a talk forget vote. Right? Alright, this is Ezekiel 6:11. He said, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, smite with thine hand, and stamp with thy foot, and say, alas, for all the evil abomination of the house of Israel, for they shall fall by sword, by famine, and by pestilence. Right? And this is another prophetic event, said by the prophets of the Most High, and the Most High word now return unto him void. Right? So another false claim by Andrew. Right. Now we see we're in a destruction coming for this place. Right. So not care what kind of plan them have put down. Yeah, destruction coming for this place. Hold on. This more say. The only way to escape this destruction, right? Are basically through the Most High. Right? You try to the Most High. Start the work of the Most High. Right, this is Isaiah 65 and 13. It said, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but he shall be hungry. Right? So my servant shall eat, and he shall be hungry. Well, most high servants, the men of the Lord out there on the highways and the byways, prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom. So behold, my servant shall drink, but he shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but he shall be ashamed. Right? And that is just it. That is just it. It's simple as that. So with that, more give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of James Greatman Stone, and salutation to all your Kims out there pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.